Hello, I'm One I Am. I'm an esoteric subject matter author. I write on a high level about the universe and universal laws and how you relate to the universe. I did a series of memes called Understanding the Energy. We live in an energy matrix, and the best way to live is to understand the energy and how you relate to it, and what you can do with the energy. So I made a series of memes called Understanding the Energy, and I wanted to add some videos also, to give you a better understanding of where I'm coming from with understanding the energy. So I'm going to go to Understanding the Energy 1, which is the first meme that I put up on my Instagram account. Understanding the Energy 1. In the first sentence is the all is mine, the universe is mental. I took this from the Kabbalion. The Kabbalion is a book of mystical laws and rules dealing with the energy matrix and how to control it, how to master this energy matrix. It's a great book, the Kabbalion. So basically, God is the intelligence that created the universe from its own mental energy. So you have an intelligence. This is where the beginning is, the start, with an intelligence. And the intelligence creates the universe from its own mental energy. I mean, the only thing there is and there was at the time and there ever will be is the intelligence. And it doesn't have anything to make anything from other than itself. So the intelligence uses its own mental energy to create perceptions of reality. Perceptions of reality. The universe is a mental machination, not a physical one. So even though the perception is that it's physical, like here, everything around me, the perception is that it's physical, but it's actually mental energy. And the energy is in motion, it's moving, it's vibrating, it's in frequency level. It's alive, the energy, just as the intelligence is alive. You understand? And the energy is responding to the wants and the needs of the intelligence. As the intelligence calls for things and asks for things to be, then the energy forms the perception. You understand? The energy, the intelligence is real. The mental energy is real. But the perception that comes from the alignment of the mental energy under rules and laws and etc., the perception is illusion. The energy is real. The intelligence is real. The perception is illusion, and it can be shaped and formed by the commands of the mind, of the intelligence behind it. So it's taking orders from the intelligence, and then making situations circumstances and events, objects, and etc. It's making those things from the commands it gets from the intelligence. The energy makes the things from the commands that it gets. So the universe is perceived as physical, but at its base level, it is made from mental energy under rules and laws. And the rules and laws on the energy is what makes the energy able to form the perceptions that it forms. Because if the energy was just loose energy without rules, laws, and regulations and boundaries on it, then you couldn't have anything solid. You couldn't have the perception of anything, because the energy would be so unstable without the rules and the laws that nothing would be able to form. So the rules and the laws are good, and they make it possible for the energy to put up a perception for the mind, the consciousness to experience. Okay? So we all know that, from grade school, in chemistry class and etc., and looking at the table of elements, the periodic table of elements and etc., that all of the elements, have atomic numbers and etc., and they're basically energy. The elements are energy. So we're in an energy matrix. And our bodies and etc. are energy as well. The same energy as this stuff is all, atomic based and atom based, and particles. It's all the same energy. The energy is all the same. It's just a perception from the way the energy is aligned and etc. It's making it seem like there's separation between objects, and there's a lot of different things going on, different people and etc., and different objects, and there's space between the objects and this, that, that. But the energy, the energy is together, it's united, and it's, it's connected, and it's conscious of what it's doing according to the commands of the intelligence behind it, which we call that God, behind the intelligence of the energy and the perceptions that the energy is putting out. But, this energy matrix, God has entered its own energy matrix at the highest level of consciousness in a form known as man, male and female. Man is the mind, the intelligence in the flesh. Flesh being, the energy under rule and etc., and what it formed, this perception of a person and etc. Just like the perception of, the desk and the table, and the perception of planets and etc., and this, that, and the other, made from the energy. So, being that you are actually the intelligence, the mind in the flesh, you're the mind in your own energy matrix, okay? Having an experience, just a conscious experience is what you're having as a person. But you are still the very mind that made the creation, and you are connected to the energy. The energy is actually taking commands from you by intellect, and that intellect is in the form of your faith what you believe, and what you understand. And then the energy is forming things based on your commands, which is your belief and your faith, and etc. That's making the command. And this basically is what we call manifesting. That men and women are able to manifest and create their own world, their own circumstances, and etc., and have the life that they will. You understand? But you can't have the life that you will if you don't know that you are the mind, the God behind the creation, in the flesh, having the experience. You have to know this and understand this. And then you have to understand how to command your own energy. And to realize that your body is not just, the flesh and etc. that the energy is creating, but your actual body is the entire so-called physical universe. The entire physical universe is your body. There is no small piece of God in a person, and then that person, that small piece of God, is limited, and it has bounds and limits and boundaries that it's stuck in. You have to get rid of that idea. Get rid of the boundaries that have been set by your acclimation into the process, into this mental process that we call life. Those boundaries and etc. have been set by your experiences and by the paradigms and etc. that you got from other people and growing up and etc. Those boundaries. But you are the mind behind the entire process, and your body is not just this right here. Your body is the entire universe. The planets, the sun, galaxies, everything that appears to be physical is within your reach. It's actually within you, the mind behind it all. But you're just having an experience from being here. But you should be controlling the experience and having it as you will, rather than being acclimated into the experience and then letting the experience, the energy as it's set, control you. So you're reacting to the energy, and as you react to the energy, you're sending more commands with your belief and your faith and what's going on. And it might be some bad circumstances that are happening, and you're mentally into those circumstances and feeding more bad vibes into the process to be experienced, because the energy believes it is delivering what you want. If you're in a bad spot and you're lowly and this, that, and the other, and things are going bad, I can't do this and I can't, man, I just can't get any money. Man, things ain't happening for me. Man, if I could just, the energy is saying this is the God. I am here, your wish is my command. It's like the genie out of the bottle. Your wish is my command. And then it forms what it is that you will. But you are unconsciously, creating your own situation and living in it. So, my whole thing is wake the God. That's That's what my website is, wakethegod.com. And it's all about waking you up to the fact that you are God in the flesh and that you can control this energy and have it as you will. This is an energy matrix. So there's no limit to what you can have. There's no limit to what each person can have. The energy is, you can't destroy it. It can only be transformed from one form to the next. And it's at the atomic level and atomic speeds and etc. So, light speed and etc. So you can have what it is you will in a split second, and under a split, it just depends. The energy is under rules and laws that it works under, but it also obeys your commands, and it will deliver as its master asks. Okay? It's under your command. So, whatever situation and circumstance that you're in, and you may be locked into, this is the way it is. No matter what it is and what it appears to be, right now, just remember, it's perception, formed from your own energy. And you can change the perception. The way you change the perception is by changing your mind. Okay? Never mind what it looks like. Just say in your mind that it's something different. It is what you will it to be in your mind. And then put your faith behind it, because you know that the energy is yours and that it must obey your command. So it's already done. Okay? And that's why, in the Bible and etc., they say we live by faith and not by sight, because we are a spiritual and conscious people, and we understand that the energy is creating perceptions of our faith. Okay? And we're not ran by what we see. You understand? What we see is just the manifestation of what we've called for. But if we want to call for something different, then we change our mind. It ain't about busting ass all the time. It's about changing your mind and then following the prompts as the energy begins to change to accommodate what your mind has called for. So you have a picture in your mind that is different than what's out here in sight. And then the energy will begin to work on that picture in your mind and change what is in sight into what is in your mind, because it obeys, it gives what you have called for. So as I read the meme, it says the universe is perceived as physical. We understand that. If you just take your eyesight, for example, eyesight has a certain value, where you can see an object. Okay, that's a value. But then the object has other values layered on, other values of perception. Okay, the next value might be smell, where you can see an object and now you can smell the object. The next value may be touch, the object that you can see, Now with the next layer of perception, you can touch the object. Now you can see, smell, and touch an object. You understand? And then there's taste. Okay? Now you can see, smell, bring the object up and taste it. You understand? And it's all perception. Mental perception created by energy. It's just that the perception is coming from 5 or 6 different frequencies, and they're all combined. And then the frequencies create what we call reality. Our reality. That's what the frequencies are creating, and the energy. The energy is real. The intelligence behind the energy is real. The perception is just fluff created from the energy. A fluff for the consciousness to experience and get some exercise and entertainment. But there's really nothing here but the energy and the intelligence and just the perception. That is why when you leave mentally, when the body and etc. is shut down and called dead, the body doesn't leave. You don't take anything with you, any of your objects and etc. and this, that, and the other. There's nothing here to take. There's nothing to get other than the perception and the experience that the mind is having, and the mind is eternal. The mind is forever. Amen. So, the universe is perceived as physical, but at its base level, it is made from mental energy under rules and laws. It's just a lot of perception, sense perception, one layer after the next, combined and then thrown out into a projection, an illusion of separation and space and objects and etc. for the mind to have an experience. And it's a wonderful experience. You know it. Look at it. It's wonderful. And it can be whatever you will it to be. But you have to understand what you are and how you relate to this energy. Instead of just being in the energy, dead in the character, dead in the personage, and walking around responding to the energy rather than commanding the energy. So God has entered its own energy matrix at the highest level of consciousness in a form known as man, male and female. Man is God in the flesh in male form. That's what we call the man. God in the flesh in male form. The woman is God in the flesh in female form. Okay? She's in the female form, the feminine. The man is an actual God, and the female is an actual goddess. You know, able to control, well, like they say, masters of the universe. Okay? Of course, you're masters of your own energy. So, yeah, you're masters of the universe. The kingdom of heaven is actually the rules and the laws of the mental matrix that can be manipulated from within man male and female, by the mind. So the kingdom of heaven, like they said in the Bible, Jesus said to them, don't go looking here or looking high and low for heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within man, male and female. So you go within, learn the rules and the laws and etc. You know, and like I said, you know, if you learn the rules and the laws, seek ye first the kingdom, which is the rules and the laws, and all the other stuff, you know, the mansions, the money, the cars, the women, whatever it is that you will to have, it will be added unto you. You know, and once you know the rules and etc., and know that you're able to command the energy, you can have whatever you will. But as long as you walk around dead in the flesh and not understanding what you are and thinking you're bound by this and bound by that, and I can only go and I don't have this and I don't have that, and what about this? You're locked in. You're locked in. You're not going to get. Well, you're getting what you're asking for. You're always going to get what you're asking for. But what I'm telling you is to wake up and start asking for something better. Okay? The kingdom of heaven is actually the rules and the laws of the mental matrix that can be manipulated from within man, male and female. The manipulation of the energy to bring about an object, situation, or circumstance to experience is what we call manifesting. Conscious manifesting is the way it should be, okay? Not the kind of manifesting you're doing now, where the energy is just on its own, being controlled by an unconscious entity, and it's kind of running like a freight train, and then you're reacting to it, and then your faith and belief is calling more of the same madness into the process, and the experience is out of control. It's not a controlled experience. It's not the experience that you would have, if you knew that you were God in the flesh and controlling the energy and projecting what it is you're calling for. Conscious manifesting is as it should be, and that would be God, mind over the matter, okay? That is when you put the intelligence over the energy. The energy is what creates the perception of the matter, and the intelligence should be over the energy. And that's what we call mind over matter. That's why people say, hey, it's mind over matter. It really is mind over matter, over the energy. But it's time for you to wake up, understand what you are, and control the energy, control your own energy, and don't have a bad life. There's no reason to have a bad life.